Good morning, friends. Tracy here with Just Dig It Farms. It is August. It is the second week of August, and my goal for today is to get my seeding finished. I've got my basket here with my packet of Hoss tool seeds I got in the mail, my seed plan, and I gotta get my seeds sown because I am knocking on the door at being too late to get my brassicas, Brussels, cabbages, cruciferous, all those vegetables seeded so that I can get them in the ground and get a good fall winter harvest from them. So I'm running on the deadline of getting this done, and that's pretty much the story of my life these days. I seem to always be a day late, $1 short, and a month behind. So anyways, today is my day to get this done and knocked out. Now I have been working out here in the garden, and I've sown some sweet corn so that I can get some fall sweet corn. Our sweet corn that we planted in the market garden for spring and summer, for our summer harvest, we didn't get any corn at all. It was so pitiful. So in these first two beds of the potager, I have sown some more silver queen. So I've got time, I've got enough days for that to make and hopefully get a harvest from it. I've also sown some more peas. I did some more purple hull peas. My purple hull peas over here have finally started producing a lot of peas. So I've been picking these and shelling these and enjoying these. I'm so excited to finally be getting some peas and beans from our garden. We eat a lot of peas and beans, and I've been a little upset because we haven't had any so far this year. So I'm hoping for a continual good fall harvest of beans and peas. Now over here is my Kentucky pole beans, and finally they started blooming. I've got a few little blooms on here, so I'm just, oh, I got beans. Yep, I've got some beans. Yay! I am so glad I didn't tear this down. I planted this like at the end of May, and it never grew, and it never got blooms. And it finally started growing after the drought that we had. The first rain we had, it started taking off and growing, and I just left it. And I'm so glad I did not yank these off. I was afraid I would never see blooms or beans. Looks like I'm gonna get some beans from this, so that will be nice. Look at this bottle gourd here, birdhouse bottle gourd from Hoss. It is going mad. Finally, some life in the garden. Right behind me there in that bed, that's where my sweet potatoes were. I harvested those, and I was very, very happy about those. The past 2 years I have fought wireworms and ended up with tons of sweet potatoes, but every one of them infested with wireworms, which was super discouraging. So I rotated my beds, I always do, but this time I planted the sweet potatoes up in the front bed where I've never had a nightshade crop in it before, ever. I can't remember that we've ever put a nightshade crop in there. So maybe we did do tomatoes the first year, but it's been a while. So I planted them up there, and I fought the deer all season. The deer kept coming up, eating the foliage. But I harvested the sweet potatoes, and they all look really good. So I'm super excited about having those. And Champ and Clyde love sweet potatoes, so I'm having to keep them out of my baskets. Oh, I just saw a little birdhouse bottle gourd form in here. These are gonna be fun. Now down here, these are my blue butterfly peas, which are getting eat up by this bottle house gourd. And they're finally starting to grow and bloom. I've been harvesting the blooms every day, taking them in and dry them to make some medicinal tea out of them. That is fun. Oh yeah, and despite this drought that we've had, we got a lot of watermelons. And they're good. They're sweet and they're good. We watered that market garden, but not really well. And we got some delicious watermelons. We got Crimson Sweets and a couple of sugar babies, not many. But we got Yellow Dolls, which is the yellow meated that we got from Halls, the seed we got from Halls. And those were really good. We love those. First time we ever had them. And I got some melons, some like cantaloupes. I'm probably saying it wrong, but I think it's Nor de Carmez from Baker Creek. We ordered that seed, and it's like a little cantaloupe. Oh, it's so good. I really was happy to get those melons because I really didn't think we were gonna get any because of the drought, but we had a good harvest of melons, and I've still got some sitting on my porch.
If you're ever in Bama around about July, if you ain't in a hurry, then you ought to stop by. I can guarantee that you're gonna have a ball learning how to do the watermelon crawl. Said we got 100 gallons of sweet red wine made from the biggest watermelons on the vine. Help yourself to some, but obey the law. If you drink, don't drive, do the watermelon crawl.
This yellow dog, baby. Oh my gracious. This is a doll.
Let's get in this greenhouse and start sowing some seed here. My tomatoes that I planted here are ready to go in the ground. I've got my Brussels, broccoli, and some cabbages here that I potted up into 4-inch. Let those continue to grow out, and now I'm going to succession start some more of this same thing, plus a lot of other stuff. I've got a bunch of my trays ready here. I've already put my potting soil in them and wet them down really good, so I had those ready. Okay, first let's take a look at my seed order here from Halls. See what all I got. I did order that Topazio bean, or it's also called a cranberry bean or an October bean because it's a good fall bean, and it should be ready to harvest about mid-October. It's one that you dry, like you either eat it fresh when you harvest it or you dry it, so it's going to store really well. Never grown it, wanted to try it. All right, here's some more onions. This is the plethora. I already have 2 other packs. I've got the Savannah and I think a red Creole, I think. But I'm going to be sowing these September 1st. That's when I'm going to start my little onion seeds. I'm excited to do onions from seed. I've never done it, but everything I've been learning from the Halls University, it says that that is the best way to get the big, huge onions. So I'm super excited about that. Now let me get these in order here real quick. Okay, I got green magic broccoli, which I sowed some of these about 3 weeks ago in my pots in here. And this is a really good heat tolerant broccoli. This is the one that I grew, I planted in the late winter, early spring, and I was still harvesting broccoli off this in July. It's a good one. Now this is Godzilla broccoli. Look how big that is. That's gonna be super fun to grow. And then I got some cauliflower here. I got that graffiti, the purple cauliflower. I grew this last fall and winter. Oh my gosh, I love this cauliflower. It is beautiful. So pretty to eat raw, so pretty in the garden. It's just, I love the purple cauliflower. And I got Twister. I'm gonna try Twister. I got some kohlrabi, I got quick star, and I've already got a pack of other kohlrabi seeds from Hoss that I'm gonna sow those to. I got some more red acre cabbage because I was out. Let's see, I got the 2.0 top bunch collards. Never grown these. I've always just done the Georgia collards. So I'm excited to try these. Jason over at Cog Hill talks about these all the time. This is what he grows a lot. So I'm gonna give it a shot. I got some more Brussels. The Jade Cross Brussels is probably my most favorite one of all the ones I've tried growing. And I wanted to make sure I had plenty of these. I wanna grow some more of these. Cheers cabbage. I've never grown the Cheers. And Greg and Sheila say this one is a really good one, so I'm gonna try it. I got more lettuce mixes. This is the baby lettuce mix. I got a ton of lettuces I'm gonna grow. And I've got some more beets. So I got the Early Wonder and the Kestrel beet. I've never grown the Kestrel, but I'm gonna grow, I'm gonna try my hand again this year for a lot of beets because we love beet juice. So good for a liver and kidney detox. I got a video on how I make that if you want to go check it out. I got some Max Pack cucumbers, and I've got time. I'm gonna try to grow some of these. I didn't get any cucumbers this year, and I really wanted to try to put pickles up again, so I'm gonna try that. And I got a bolero carrot. I've got a bunch of packs of carrots, so I'm gonna be sowing my carrots here real soon. But for today, I'm just gonna try to get these things seeded. I'm not going to start my beets. I'm gonna wait and direct sow those. I'm gonna wait on my lettuce. It's still a little bit too early for lettuce here. Central Alabama Zone 8 is where we're at. And it's a little too early for lettuces right now because it's still gonna be too hot by the time they germinate and come up, and they'll bolt and be bitter. So today I'm working on my broccolis, my cauliflowers, my cabbages, my Brussels, and I'm probably gonna go ahead, I'm gonna go ahead and sow some collards. A lot of people direct sow their collards, but I never have good luck with that. So I'm going to do my collards in trays. Now turnips and rutabagas, what are y'all fussing about? Turnips and rutabagas, I direct sow those. All right, that's it. So let's get started with this. I'm gonna put these up. We're not ready for those yet. Now that was my seed order. And then this is my seed plan for the year. So these are the seeds I already had in here. And man, I got a lot to do. I got a lot to get sown. Oh, those onions, I did Savannah Sweet. And the Red Creole. And then I've got this plethora that I just ordered. So I'm gonna have 3 different types of onions, a white, a yellow, and a red, purple. I'm excited about these onions now. It's gonna be fun. Champ and Clyde are down here playing. Let's do some more Brussels. All right, I've got 18 Brussels sprouts that I've already previously sown about 3 weeks ago. I've got Jade Cross, Red Reuben, and Long Island. And I'm just gonna sow some more Jade Cross because I really, really love these. And I like to have a lot of Brussels sprouts. We eat a lot of Brussels sprouts. I like to put them up in the freezer. And I really like to just slice them in half, drizzle with olive oil and sea salt, and bake them, roast them in the oven. We love them like that. We really love them. These are such tiny little seed. I just kind of make a little bit of an indentation on the soil, put my seed in it, and then I come back and put like a little thin layer of potting soil over it. Not too thick because you can't plant your seeds too deep. that should do it with the Brussels. My cauliflower here, I was going through my seed plan and I found I had some Minuteman and that Flame Star cauliflower. I did it last year and it didn't turn out too good, but I'm gonna give it a try again this year. I don't base things off of just growing it 1 year. I like to at least grow it 2 or 3 years and see how it does, because there's so many different things that factor in and happen, and it could have just been because of that one reason. So I'm gonna give this Flame Star another try and see if I like it. And then I've got the twister that I ordered, and I'm definitely doing more of this purple graffiti cauliflower. I love it. So I'm gonna do all 4 of these and just see which ones I love the best. So other than getting the garden cleaned up, ready to plant for fall, getting compost in the rows, getting ready for the fall and winter garden, and sowing these seeds, getting ready for the garden, and harvesting a little bit finally. We've finally been harvesting a little bit. Even though it's not thriving, this okra is starting to bloom. And make okra for us. All right. So a good lesson learned this year is not to give up on the garden. She finally came through for me. We harvested melons. I'm picking purple hull peas. I'm about to start having so much okra, I don't know what to do with all of it. And my green beans are flowering. And finally, I'm getting some harvest and reward, great reward from the garden. And I was about ready to give up on it this year. Don't give up on the garden. Other than that, we just did our last honey harvest on the bees. We do 2 honey harvests a year. We do one around the end of June, first part of July, and then we do another one around mid to end of August. And then everything that they make from this point out, we leave it for their winter stores. So that's their food that gets them through the winter time. And the August harvest is the worst because it's so hot and we nearly die out there in our suits, and it's just super, super hot. Our friends Jack and Donna have come down for the past 3 years and helped us with the honey harvest. But we've learned that trying to do all of that, harvesting the honey from the beehives, coming in and slinging the honey, bottling it, labeling it, trying to do all that in one weekend is just way too much. It's exhausting. It makes you just not ever want to do it again. It'll almost just make you want to stop keeping bees. It's too much. It is exhausting, even with a lot of good hands helping. So this year, Jean and I went out and harvested it the afternoon before. We harvested all the honey out of the hives. It was overcast. It was nice. It wasn't that bad as far as the heat. We harvested it all, brought it up on the trailer. And then when Jack and Donna got here Saturday morning, all we had to do was sling the honey. And we had the whole afternoon just to hang out with each other. We went to the creek. We had dinner. We had a really good time together this year. Last time we were so exhausted we could barely even talk to each other by the end of the day. So anyway, we got the honey harvested, and it was the worst year we've ever had. It was the worst honey harvest we've ever had. We usually get anywhere from 25 to 40 gallons of honey each time we harvest, just kind of depends. And this time we got like 15 gallons. There was a lot of frames out there that they were working on, but they just weren't capped and completed. And I think the drought had a whole lot to do with it. So we could probably go back the end of this month and harvest again and end up with a good bit, but we're not. We're just gonna leave it all for the bees to get through the winter time.
Well, we're doing my most favorite thing. We are heading out to try to get a jump start on our bees. We're gonna do our fall, well, it's not really fall, but late summer harvest. This will be our last harvest for the year. Is my tie straight?
Yep. Straight, ready to go.
We were doing these bees this past time, and I forgot to do this. I'm out there, and all of a sudden, their bees were all going up in there, and I was like, just running, slapping. They were stinging my head and face. Ugh, I hate them bees.
We have a love-hate relationship with these bees. We love having them here on the farm because they pollinate our gardens, and just because we're doing our part to help save the bees. We love having them here, but they don't love us when we get in them.
Well, there's no shade. There is some
We love
shade.
the hunting too. We're starting on this side.
Yeah, we're gonna do this good side. That's the mean side over there.
Our friends Jack and Donna's coming tomorrow to help us, but we wanted to really try to knock out as much as we could today so that maybe tomorrow we could have a little fun together instead of working so hard. Last time they came, we worked for 2 days until like, 9 or 10 o'clock that night, and we were just exhausted. So hopefully we can knock some of this out today.
All you're gonna have to do is just walk over here. I had my tractor fixed. All right. Just hatched out some not too long ago. There's a bunch of babies in here. Hello, little baby. Oh, there ain't no honey on these. Some reason this year, this is the first time we've been doing it, 5 years now?
Yeah.
This is the first time they're not really being productive on honey. In the spring, we had a lot of honey, but from spring till now, I don't know what's going on, but all of those hives over there, almost every one of them, most of the frames were only like 3/4 to a half capped. So like they're not being really fast productive this year. I don't know what's going on. Maybe they got that virus.
That's the excuse for everything
Yeah,
else.
everything's
in the world.
excuse in this world. It's the virus. Get away from me.
I think maybe there wasn't enough things blooming, and we had the drought. I think the drought had affected it in some ways.
Now, why is there brood up here? Oh, that's loaded with brood up there.
Ooh, they're mad at us.
But it's not a good pattern at all. Look at that. That's a horrible pattern. This queen needs to be replaced.
I'm gonna hit this side. I don't
No, where's this going?
right back on here. You can't do it by yourself.
1, 2, 3. Ooh.
Now that, you're gonna just leave that drain overnight?
Mm-hmm.
Our friends
Oh,
showed up today. Y'all sure were happy we already had it all harvested, huh?
Oh, yes, you guys did good.
Look at Donna's cute cup. Oh my gosh, I love that.
Isn't that cute?
Do you know where he got it
I
from?
do, but I don't have the card with me.
Oh, it's so cute.
Yeah, she makes them.
So we got that done. Now I've still got mess to clean up. I finally got my house cleaned up. It usually takes me about 3 days to get all the sticky honey mess out of there. But we had some wax moths on 2 whole hives. So I've got to deal with that. And we've still got a lot of equipment cleanup and stuff like that to do. But right now I've got all of that sitting out there by the bee yard, letting the bees clean it up for me, get all the honey out of it. They'll clean everything like almost spick and span. And then next week I'll go out there and get it, and I'll get it all cleaned up, and I'll get stuff put away for the winter. Okay, I'm gonna try something here. I've got this chamomile. It's German chamomile from Botanical Interest. And this seed is 2018. So this was the old seed that I got when I worked at Petals. And I have tried to sow this from these old packets for probably the past 3 years, and it never germinates, it never makes. So I'm gonna just take these, I've got my tray here, and what I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna sow this super thick all over the top of this tray, all 3 packets, and cover it lightly, and then just see what happens. Just see if any of them just happen to germinate. I mean, what do I have to lose? It's old seed. I've tried for 3 years with no germination luck at all. So I'm just gonna try this. We'll see if this works. I did grow some chamomile this past spring, but it just burned up. I got maybe a few little blooms, but it just pretty much burned up and did not do well. It did not like this drought at all. I'm just gonna like super thick sow this and just see what happens. I mean, maybe it'll come up. I'm just gonna spread it. Maybe I'll get a couple of them out of it. I mean, dang, you never know. Worth a shot, I guess. They're definitely not going to germinate or do anything in this packet, so let's just see what happens. I'll keep you posted on this. That is a lot of seeds. Now what? That'd be funny if every one of these germinate. That would have a mess. All right, this is going to be interesting to see what happens here. I love chamomile. I just love it. I love it in the garden. When you walk by, you just get this, oh wow, what is that smell? And it's little chamomile blooms. They smell like little apple blossom blooms. Oh, they smell so good. I love making chamomile tea. And I just saw some basil, some holy basil that reseeded itself in the garden from last year, and it just started coming up just not too long ago. So I found it in the garden, and I wanted to try holy basil, chamomile, and lavender tea. I mean, that sounds amazing. Plus all 3 of those are really, really good for stress, anxiety, holy basil is an adaptogen, so it really helps with decreasing that stress and that anxiety, and it just calms you, helps you sleep good. So I've got some chamomile blooms dried and put up from, I've still got a few from last year, and then the little bit I got this year. So I'm looking forward to trying some of that tea. But I really would love to be able to get another good harvest of chamomile blooms. If this doesn't germinate and come up, I'm probably gonna go to Petals and just buy some plant starts of chamomile and get them in the ground, so that hopefully I can get another round of flowers before the winter, before the frost, because I really need them. But maybe this will work. We shall see. This moringa is like getting really big, and I've only taken one harvest off of it this year. So I don't want to miss out. So I'm going to go ahead and take some of this while I'm out here. And I just cut it off. I figured out an easier way to do it than what I was doing before. I was cutting it and just hang drying all of this and then stripping the leaves. But really it's easier just to take it, strip the leaves, and then just lay the leaves flat, either in the dehydrator or just on a cookie sheet, and stick it in a dark closet where it's cool in the house. It dries super quick. And then see, here's my little basket of leaves. It tastes so good. It has like this nutty kind of flavor to it. Really good in salad. So good for you too. I am so thankful we discovered this plant. In Costa Rica, we found this plant. Oh, I'm so thankful we found it. We love this. And it don't really matter how hard you cut this, it just grows right back. Wherever you make the cut, it starts growing right back immediately. It doesn't mind it at all. I got my little basket full of moringa leaves here, and I'm gonna get these in the house and get them drying and get us a little something pulled together for dinner. Gene's been out of town and he should be driving up in about 20 minutes or so. So I'm gonna go get us something ready to eat. But thank you guys so much for hanging out with me in the greenhouse today. God bless you, and I will see you on the next video.